Overflows.
Meditation, the living relationship. Meditation is the ultimate and the only living relationship with existence. Meditation is the ultimate and the only living relationship with existence. Indeed, a living relationship with total existence that surrounds you. Remember, meditation is the culmination of love. Love not with a single person, but with the total existence. The real problem is to know why we are not in meditation. The real problem is not how to love, but to know why we are not in love. So the very process of meditation is negative. Meditation negates something which has already been added to you. Meditation means living totally, and you can live totally only when the barriers of language is crossed, when you are silent. Therefore, the inward flow through meditation is the only revolution and the only freedom. So now that the outer frontier has proven its limitations and barrenness, however, the exploration of the inner one is the beginning. The seeds of meditation are being blown from their place of germination in the east to the western soils as well, where hungry generations of youth are waiting eagerly for some ray of light, some seeds to flower. This inner blossoming will bring an end to the inner schizophrenia, the split from one's own inner self, brought about by the age of materialism and technology. Inner dimension is the only choice left to them. The present situation still remains quite desperate. Youth all over the world, specifically in the West, are unable to cope with life. Out of their inner frustration, despondency, chaos, and conflict, they seek escapes in everything, in promiscuous sex, in the frenzied rock and roll dancing, in social rebellion, in drugs, in psychedelic stylizing. But ultimately, none of these escapes give any joy or real pleasure for a very long time. There are two words, revolution and rebellion. Revolution is fighting with the past, it is outside. Rebellion is inner dimension. Rebellion is the process of meditating for the future. Revolution is an organized effort to change a society forcibly and violently. But the trouble is, you cannot change a society through violence, because it is violence that is the very current of the society. Because it is the violence that is the very life current of the society. That is why all the revolutions have failed. And there is no possibility of any revolution succeeding ever. Rebellion is individual, non-violent, peaceful. It is out of love. Rebellion is not against something, but for something. Revolution is against something, but not for something. Revolution is so much engaged in being against, it forgets for what all this fuss is being made. It is anger. But anger cannot create a better society. Rebellion is not oriented against the society. Instead, rebellion is oriented towards a new man, a new humanity. There is outer revolution and inner revolution. There has never been revolution in India. Revolution happened in UK, France, Russia, and United States. All these are outer revolutions. What happens within? In India, we talk of inner revolution. In India, we celebrate a holy festival called Makar Sankranti. Sankranti means, Kranti comes from a word revolution, the inner revolution. It is connected with the planetary change. It means inner revolution or rebellion. According to Vedas, Sankranti refers to the movement of sun from one constellation of the zodiac to the next. It is the movement of Aquarius. Sankranti refers to the movement of sun from one constellation of the zodiac to the next. Hence, there are 12 Sankranti in a year. Out of these, Makar Sankranti that falls in January is considered the most auspicious, and it is one of the few Hindu festivals that is aligned with solar cycle. Makar Sankranti heralds a change in the season. From this day, the sun begins the movement from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. This is the movement of sun energy from downward to upward. And when the energy's movement changes from downward to upward, it creates an inner rebellion or transformation. As such, human energy moves downward, and the entire process of transformation is changing the direction of this energy from moving downward to upward. This festival, Makar Sankranti, that is celebrated in January, is because from this day sun begins its movement from southern hemisphere to northern hemisphere. This is the movement of the sun energy from downward to upward. And this is inner revolution that is capable of transforming both inner and outer life. When your mind is freed of all tendencies, your energy naturally begins its upward movement. You may call this Kundalini or by any other name. But this is the inner revolution, the process of transformation. You are bound by the outer law. This controls your behavior in life. When mind becomes so simple and spontaneous that you do not need the outer law, instead you are guided by inner law. This state refers to inner revolution or Sankranti. Kranti, as I said, means revolution. Journey into meditation. We live in a particular mindset. Let me explain this with an example. Imagine a child is born and grows up in a moving train. The compartments of the train, this compartment of train is his life and whole mindset. He cannot imagine anything beyond this. And if he asks his parents what is behind this compartment, the answer is another compartment. This process of question and answer will continue until the answer reaches the last compartment. And if he further questions, he will ask which compartment is behind the last compartment. Really, behind the last compartment is the vast, open, infinite sky. Such is the limitation of our finite cognition. The compartments are connected to one another, and beyond the last compartment is vast open sky. Such is the limitation of our finite cognition. Life is like a garden where you first convert the barren soil into fertilized soil. Meditation is the process of fertilizing the inner soil. Once the soil is prepared, it is ready to plant flowers of awakening. Then one day, someone appears from an unknown realm and plants the seed of awakening deep within your fertilized soil. The roots of the plant remain hidden in your unconscious and subconscious. These have to be cared before the plant of life blossoms with myriad flowers to spread beauty, elegance, and fragrance. Roots of the plant remain hidden in your subconscious and unconscious. These have to be cared before the plant of life blossoms with myriad flowers to spread beauty, elegance, and fragrance. Unlike other plants, the plant of life is nourished differently. There is a built-in energy program in 7 layers. This energy program or battery has 7 layers, and each layer is charged differently and acts independent in the beginning, along and each layer is charged differently and acts independent in the beginning, although each is connected to one another, and the charge of one reaches to nourish the other. For this process, your understanding, your meditation, and energy field of an awakened one helps tremendously. But you remain ignorant about the garden of life and never laugh at your own ignorance and do not know how to care for this garden of life. I repeat it again. For this process, your understanding, your meditation, and the energy field of an awakened one helps tremendously. But you remain ignorant about the garden of life and never laugh at your own ignorance and do not know how to care for this garden of life. This is the inner revolution or transformation